Hi there, this video is about knee guards and elbow guards. I'm looking around at the designs of such things in relation to the electric unicycle riding. And I'm going to show you this knee pad. This one's okay, it survived a couple of crashes. You can see that the top of this one has a overhang. If I can get it up close to the camera. So it sort of the top overhangs this lower part. So if I were to hit the ground, boom, like this, after falling from my electric unicycle, the top of this front, the knee part being overhanging this part, actually allows the thing to slide along without scooping up the road surface. Now, other designs I see of knee pads, the bottom part actually overhangs the knee part. So as you scrape along the road, other designs are actually scooping up the road and injecting it into your knee area, into your kneecap. All the road glass, rocks, splinters of wood, anything that's on the road or in the bush or on the ground. A lot of the designs of the knee pads I'm looking at that are very popular have this scooping problem when you're in this crouching down position. And after a fall on an electric unicycle, it's very likely that you're going to crash into one of these sorts of positions. And you'll be sliding, scooping. And it's like, I don't want to be scooping up rocks into my knee, into my kneecap. And so this is actually a cheaper, this is quite a cheap one in a lot of ways. But I like the way that the kneecap overhangs this. And so there is no scooping going on. So that's that. Now this is the same company makes these elbow pads. And it has the same design. Now this doesn't work for the elbow pad design, in my opinion. All this is my opinions. Now what this elbow pad has the same design as the knee. See how the actual corner area overlaps this part here. You can see it there. See that sort of step there where it's overlapping. Now this doesn't work for your elbows. So back to falling on the ground. So you hit the ground, you're going along this way, scraping along, and this design is scooping up all the rocks, glass, shards of wood, all the rubbish that you can find. Is it actually compacting it and firing it into your elbow joint? Now here's one of my main gripes besides that, if that's not enough. This elbow pad, it's a bit hard to see because I'm wearing black, but it has the armour on the elbow side, and then it just has straps that go over the front of your arm to hold it in position. Now, I've crashed my unicycle, so the reality is when I hit the ground, and this sort of situation, here's the reality of this type of pad. Boom! There is no pad on your elbow. The first thing that happens, you hit the ground and it just goes whoosh, and it just smashes that thing completely off your arm. And look, if I took I'm going to pause. Action. Okay, so I've taken my jersey off to just roll up my sleeve so you can see a bit of skin going on, so you can see where the armour is not. Now, as I said, the reality is I hit the ground, boom, the armour slides almost instantly off, so you get the first bounce, bam, and then the armour is gone. It just rolls around your arm pointlessly. You can't see very well on camera there, but those two patches there was just bone, exposed bone from when I hit the ground because of this. And this isn't the armour I was wearing. This is another sort of armour. You know, this is more armour that doesn't really do what we need it to do in this particular situation. We're falling differently than ever before because these are new. It's a new device. We're riding it in a new way and we're falling in different ways. And the current gear, I'm looking around, I have yet to find an elbow pad I feel good with. It's just like, I'll pause. Okay, I've put on some upper body armour. As you can see, this is like a little jacket. You zip it up and it has, you know, armour on the back, armour on the front, down to here, shoulders, elbows, and that's it. The rest of it is just this thin nothing mesh. Now the reality is, in a crash, or in my crash, my opinion, again, hitting the ground like I just demonstrated before, coming off the wheel. I had wrist guards on, by the way. I'm not demoing wrist guards at the moment, just showing you the setup. Now look at my armour. Okay, so I hit the ground, and you see that patch there, that missing patch, where my wristwatch would be? Well, that's actually the patch that will be where your elbow is. Because that is actually the damage, that patch where my wristwatch should be. The size of that hole. I don't know if you can see how big that hole is. But that hole on the top of my arm, when I hit the ground, it rolled around like that, and my elbow just got completely minced down to the bone. Now, one of the faults that you can clearly see is that I didn't have the thumb piece in place. And I still don't believe that even if I did have, because I've dived onto the ground since then, that this thing will just roll out of the road. And look, elbow. It's just like fishnet stockings that some dancer might wear. So really, and the other fault with this particular armour setup is the hips. Now my hips hit the ground, took the skin off my hips. I had like bruising and damage in my insides were out of alignment, and I couldn't walk right because I couldn't move my legs properly because they were like dislocated in some fashion. And about 2 weeks later, I clicked all back into position. I was able to walk right again. I was like, yeah. So there's just no armour here at the front. There's just nothing. And you know, if you hit the ground fast enough, you think, oh well, I'll go like this or I'll go like that, but it's like you hit the ground with impact and you'll splat right out, and then you'll scoop back up. And so in that moment where you splat right out, that 1 second or 2 seconds that you're in this position is enough to grind everything off your front. And I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach, and I used to do kickboxing and different things, and so I know what it's like to be punched really hard in the guts, and it's like, boy, I felt like I'd been punched good. So clearly there's a lot of room for improvement with this armour. If I could choose how to do this, I would have that the wrist guards that we all commonly wear would be attached and connected to this elbow pad, and the elbow pad, so the wrist guard and elbow pad would start here, go around your thumb so that it can't be pulled up your arm. The armour would go all the way around your arm so that if this sort of thing happens, it's like, look, there is no friggin' armour. armour that has straps on the top to me now is just completely pointless. It doesn't work in my opinion. And I'm like, I've got other sorts of armour and they've all got the same problem. They're all going to just roll off because the reality is that's what's happened. I'm not going to sit here and, lie to myself that, I'll put these back, a different pair on, different maker, a different brand with the same bullshit design. Hang on, same bullshit design. So that's my thoughts on the armour. I think particularly with the elbows in this area, because you often think, oh, well, your wrist's your main thing, but it's like, I've done a lot of press-ups too. I don't look like I've done a lot of press-ups, but when I was 38, I did 1,000 press-ups in 4 hours, just a demo that I could. But my point being is that when you hit the ground in these sorts of positions, is that, it does take a reasonable amount of strength not to end up on your elbows. And it's like, I still end up on my elbows because you've dived from your feet are off the ground and then boom, you're hitting the pavement like this. And it's like, and then it's like, yeah, you might, have enough spring to spring up. It only takes a second on the tar seal for you to be ground all the way. So I'd like to see some designs. I'd like to hear about any designs. If anybody knows about any complete wraparound elbow guards with armour on the top as well, and especially if they're connected to a proper wrist guard like we would wear as unicyclists, and then right up past the elbow, and then the rest of the armour we can tackle as a separate issue if that's the case. I have similar concerns about this whole rolling off of the elbow design with the jackets as well. I'm looking at a lot of the jackets and I really like a lot of the modern designs. I think they're really nicely designed. I have the same concern that if the sleeve doesn't have a thumb hook on as part of the sleeve of the jacket is going to roll up your arm. This is my opinion. I believe the jacket will just roll up your arm. As soon as you hit the ground, the armour is gone. It'll roll around your arm as well. So it's up, it's off, it's gone. And, where's the point of that? So I have actually got some anti-cut sleeves that I've got that are reasonably cheap. But I think they would have to be combined with a proper decent set of armour and still the wrist guards. So again, we're still needing the actual proper armour and wrist guards no matter what other, anti-cut material I have in case there's any kind of roll-off or anything like that, that it will give you that extra few seconds, because it's seconds we need to survive, the first couple of bounces and then a lot of sliding and scraping and then hitting something maybe, or being hit. So please ride safe. Wear lots of gear, and tell me if you think you know of any names of any elbow pads that would be like what I've talked about, or that maybe not the actual brand name, or if you don't want to say that, or just name what it is, like a elbow wrist guard or something that might have some generic term that everyone's using that I might have missed. So all right, thanks everyone, good luck and ride safely. Thanks.